Okay, so apparently we're live. I don't know yet if we are. I can see ourselves here. Yeah, everything looks good. As and when anybody watches this, what I'm looking for is to know if the sound or audio is all any good. So yeah, what are we doing tonight? Well, I'll say right from the start, there is going to be absolutely no structure tonight. There's going to be no structure for tonight whatsoever. What I thought I would do is have basically like an open session where we're trying to do something at the garage and you're here for the ride. If you've got any questions or comments, stick them in the chat. Hopefully I'll be able to see them and reply to them. But yeah, the first thing I'm looking for is to see if the audio is okay. So if you can hear us fine, let us know. If you can't hear us fine, let us know. There is a bit of background noise. The 3D printer's going over that side. Down here the heater's going, but it's on its lower setting. If it is too much of an issue with the heater, we can turn it off because we're at a balmy 18 degrees in here just now. So yeah, it looks like this audio's okay. Thank you very much. 65 Putty. I don't know what your name is. But yeah, thank you very much for letting us know about the audio. So, tonight, what we're going to try and do, thank you Amy, what we're going to try and do tonight is, next to me here, we've got what is now Ewan's Limbo Dancer. I don't think we've done any videos on this yet, have we? Done. No, so bit of a backstory to this. I actually bought this for 25 quid or 20 quid or something in a really poor state from a chap called Martin Thompson. Many of you may well know him if you're in the UK. Thanks Bob for the audio. He was going to burn the airplane because it was absolutely no good to him. It was worthless to him seemingly. Sat in the loft for at least 3 years in the old house, didn't it? Mm-hmm. And then while I was away at work recently, Ewan decided enough's enough. He's going to take it apart, strip it, refurbish it.
Learn a lot from it.
Learn a lot from it. And you've done a good job of it. I have noticed one thing that you haven't done, which is probably worth doing. See these edges on these dowels?
Yeah, I know.
Around them off, yeah. Just make them a bit neater. But apart from that, so he's done a good job. He's learned a few things, but there's still a few little bits and pieces we need to do to get it to fly. Like there's something missing off the front here. We need to get the tank in it. We need to get a throttle servo in it. But in reference to this, no, the other one's over there, isn't there? Yeah. So this is a Limbo Dancer. This was designed, the Limbo Dancer, if you don't know, was designed by a chap called Paul Skinner in the 90s, probably, early 90s.
When you were young.
When I was young. And it was a competition winning model. He won, I think at the time it was just Fun Fly. It wasn't, Dave, not a problem. When and if you need another kit, just shout or go into the website and buy one. Let me know how you get on with it. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Paul Skinner. He won the Fun Fly competitions at the Nationals loads of times with the Limbo Dancer design. Things have evolved since then. Models have become better and different, but the basic Limbo Dancer is still a really good aeroplane. I flew the one I had before on a 36. I'm sure it was an Irvin 36 I had in the front of it, and it flew really well. So my thought was to put a 36 in the front of this, and I thought I actually had an OS 37, a helicopter engine, which I was going to use in this. Turns out I don't. And I'm not quite sure why I don't have it. It was either I was going to buy one and didn't, or did buy one and have lost it. Both of which are both strong possibilities. But for this aeroplane, we've also got, where is it? Underneath the bench over there, we've got the Gen 37, which I did run up. I can't remember where I got the engine from. I might have got the engine from my dad, but no, I don't know the history of it. So I had a bit of an issue running it up, and you ran it up again today. Found the plug was dodgy. I found that the needles were all well out. Couldn't get it to run properly. Sorted that, got it running. To then find that the engine mount that comes with this aeroplane, or came with this aeroplane, is far too wide for a 36 class engine. So that's the mount which I got for the 36, and it's probably 3mm narrower than what's fitted. So a 36 or 37 would be rattling around fit in there. Now, while we were rattling around under the bench over there the other day looking for something else, I discovered an engine which I didn't know I had. Now, any of you that have been into this workshop will know that under that bench over there, there's several hundred engines. So it's not surprising that I don't actually know what engines I've got and what I haven't got. This is what Ewan thinks is a brand new ASP 46.
I don't think it's going to run before.
And I would say it has run, because can you see, you won't be able to see, can you see on the, like that side of the cylinder, there's marks?
Yeah, I thought that was just something else.
No, there's some marks in there. There's oil marks, no sort of whatnot going up and down. But if it has run, it certainly hasn't run much. You know, there's no dirt or anything on it. There's no witness. Yeah, it has run. I reckon it has run because there's been a mark for a washer on the lugs. So it has run, but it's got silly amounts of compression, which I can't actually turn it over by. I can just about turn it over by hand, and hopefully that'll fit in there with a minor bit of work. Just going to fit neatly, I think. And the bolt holes just line up, maybe. I can't really see. Yeah, I think they line up. So if they are, the plan is tonight to try and get worked on this. So we're going to see if we can't get some bolts. Is that threaded, as in self-tapped?
Yeah,
Have you looked?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so what we might be able to do is just open them up a little bit to get. What are you doing? Okay, don't know what angle we need that at yet. Does the bolt thread into there? Are you sure? Okay, because some of them it threads into there and that's just a locking up. Do you know what I mean? Did you take the baffle out?
There was no baffle with it.
Yeah, there was, 'cause I saw it.
Yeah, it was attached to the, actually attached to
No,
the
you'd be able to take it out. And before anybody asks, the reason for taking the baffle out is where we fly we don't have any noise issues really, or issues with noise complaints. So to get the maximum amount of power out of the airframe, or I should say out the airframe, out the engine for the airframe, we're going to take the baffle out. So you have to excuse me, I'm just watching what's going on the computer here as well. 3 people watching at the moment. Thank you very much for joining us. As I said, any questions, stick them in the comments, or the chat down your right hand side, and I'll answer them. I'll go back to, see, baffle out. Sorry?
Clearly.
Yeah. Now I did have a comment or a question from a chap called Murray in Queensland, Australia, of all places. So it seems like people that follow this channel are from all over the world. First question: there are a few other very appealing John Woodfield designs, such as the LF1 and the Cliffhanger. Just wondered if the Ocean Breeze is a success, that you might try the same release with these 2 models. The short answer is I would love to. The next answer is I don't know. Obviously I'd have to speak with John and see what his thoughts are. Off the top of my head, without going back looking at his videos, I can't think what the cliffhanger and the LF1 are. The cliffhanger might be a variation on the Alex Whitaker designed cliff whacker, which is a very basic slope sorter. But the LF1 I haven't got a clue about. So in short, yes, I'd love to. You have to find some bolts. We're going through here. That fit through there. Do you know what I mean? So we have to open those ones out probably. The next part of Murray's question: what is your planned preferred servo, brand or specs for the Ocean Breeze and other gliders of this size? Well, the short answer again is I fitted Futaba 9202s, and the only reason I fitted those is because I had them. I don't know what the spec of the 9202s are, but they're fairly standard from memory. They're nothing special, I don't think. That sort of style of glider will quite happily fly on bog standard servos. 148s would happily operate it. It's not a fast flying model. You don't need huge amounts of control deflection. You don't need fast response servos. You don't need high speed digitals or anything like that. That sort of aeroplane was flown when radio was first conceived, when the servos barely had enough pull in them to pull the skin off custard. So any bog standard servo will work quite happily with that. I can't imagine a reason why you would need anything more than a standard servo. Certainly not in that aeroplane. Maybe if you're going electric, you might want a little bit more. If you put an electric motor in the front of it or something, you might want a little bit more, but you don't want anything serious. No, you don't need big powerful servos or anything. So hopefully, Murray, if you're watching this, that answers your question. Somebody else did ask a question. I can't think if it actually was an off the top of my head. I wrote that one down. Yeah, I can't think what it was. Can you remember?
What?
Somebody else asked a question about something and I was going to answer it. Can't remember. Okay. So if anybody watching this live as such has got any questions, or if you're watching this back later on when it's uploaded, and you've got any questions, stick them in the comments below. I will be updating the video data, not video data, the video description with all the links. One thing which I am going to do on the video description of all the videos now, there's a link to the Friends of NGR Modelling Facebook page, and that's basically, it's not a secret page or group, it's just not public, and the only way you can get to it is through the link I've just put in the chat or through the links in the video descriptions. Basically, I want to use it for a place where somebody could go in there and say, how do I do this? How do I do that? With one of the kits that we produce or whatever. Or if they've got questions on any of the videos that we've done or anything like that. So it'd be good if people did join the group, put their comments in there. It'll be a slow burner because it's not public. I'm not sort of just letting anybody willy-nilly come and join it. The only way you can get to it without the link that I've just put in the chat is by clicking on the link in the video, so I know then that you have seen the videos and that's where you come from. What else? There's something else. It's bugging me that there's something else. Somebody asked me a question. Oh, that's what it was. Right, so kits, the SAS kits, the ones that have got, the kits that have got what is listed as, excuse me, blue foam wings. Blue foam is slowly becoming non-existent, and it's because it's being replaced by grey foam. Now, the only difference between the two materials is the colour. Down Corning have basically decided that the grey dye that they use is more environmentally friendly than the blue was. So it's exactly the same material, same density, same everything. It's just a slightly different colour. I've had a few people ask me, I thought it was blue foam and there's grey, is that right? And yes, the answer is, that is correct. They are grey. It's exactly the same material. It's expanded polystyrene, XPS. Sorry, not expanded. Extruded. EPS is expanded polystyrene. XPS is extruded polystyrene.
Have any?
We don't have any box.
Without making that whole bed.
That's M5.
Yeah.
It needs to be M4.
We don't have any M4 that are long enough.
We don't have any that are long enough. How long are the long ones? Or the long enough ones?
The long enough ones have like a bit on it.
A bit on it?
Yeah.
You mean a non-threaded bit?
Yeah.
Bring the whole drawer over.
I already had this one for a little.
Was I busy talking?
Probably. Because
They fit through there.
that fits through there, but it's too long.
Have you been through the whole drawer looking?
Yeah. And then they are too short
Why are they too short?
because they don't go through the engine mount and the engine.
Okay. So what we need then is they'll go through the front
Yeah.
and be long enough. So we need to find out what length that is and then get some that are longer from our favourite buying sources.
Doesn't really help for right now.
No, it doesn't help right now. But what we can do is we can get the front ones in, get the engine on,
Yeah.
to then line up for throttle push rods, etc. Have you got a hole through? Yes, you have. So we need 2 of those. Yeah, it looks firmer than the blue. It might look it, but it shouldn't be. It should be exactly the same. It's exactly the same density, exactly the same spec. Everything is the same apart from the colour. Are you planning on attending any shows in 23 with maybe a stall? How do I answer that one? Okay, so one of my goals with NJR modelling as a whole, not just the YouTube, but NJR modelling as a whole, is to have a tray stand at a show and sell loads of kits. That is one of the goals I want to achieve. Where, when and how, I don't know. Now, what I've set myself, the target, is of every design that we produce as a kit, I want to have 10 of them on the stall, 10 of each design on the stall or stand at the show that we go to. Now, that's one part of attending a show. I've been involved with going to shows for many years. I've helped on many trade stands, and I know what goes into organising shows as well. Where we are geographically in the west of Scotland, it's a fair drive to any show, but if it's worth going to the show, it's worth the drive. Now, I'm hoping, and it is a fingers crossed hoping, that we can attend Woodspring Wings down near Bristol, a place called Yatton. Now, there's a couple of reasons why that one might well work for us. One, we're quite good friends with the organisers of the show. It's quite an informal show. It's not one of the big, huge shows. Yes, it's probably the furthest drive away for us. I suggest when you've got those in, make sure the engine fits with those two before drilling them. It's probably the furthest show away from us. I think it's going to be a 6.5 hour drive each way. So we'd have to go down on probably the Thursday and come back on the Monday. So things like fuel costs we've got to take into account, and those in the UK know that fuel price etc. is not brilliant. Things as well, if we're having a proper trade stand, it means that we can't fly there easily. That's one of the things that Ewan wants to do. If we're having a trade stand, we need something to be the trade stand, whether it be on like one of these pop-up gazebos or whatever, and we've got to be able to transport enough kits, which in my case just now would mean hiring a van, because I don't have a van at the moment. And straight away, how much did we work it out to be it's going to cost us? Yeah, I think without, was that without food and drink as well? So we worked out roughly it's going to be £2,000 before we'd even left the house to enable us to go for the weekend. So that would be van hire, fuel, everything else that goes with it, and then food and drink on top of that. So yes, it's something I want to commit to, but when we do that, I don't know. The 3 shows that I would probably look at having a trade stand at would have been Woodspring Wings, the BMFA Nats, which Bob, yeah, I haven't seen an official post yet, but I don't think the Nats is happening this year, and possibly Western Park, because they're the big trade shows where there's a lot of footfall. Yes, I know that people are going to say, oh, what about this show? What about that show? What about this one? What about that one? The shows are changing. We haven't been to a show for a good couple of years now, have we? For various reasons, one of them being the big worldwide thing that was going on. But over the years, I think I've been to most of the shows, and I'd go just to see you. Well, you might spell his name right for a start. But yeah, that is one of the reasons why we're looking at going to Woodsprings. Steve has promised Ewan more stick time on the Lancaster, and Ewan's recently met some of the criteria for it to happen again, haven't you? So I don't know when that's going to happen, but that's been talked about, shall we say. I want to see him flying it again, to be honest. If we had the suitable flying site local to us, I'd actually build one myself. But our flying site isn't conducive for flying something that big of that sort of that style of model. What was that? Okay. So yeah, flying a large Lanc is something I'd love to do and have, but we've got the space for it here. We just haven't got the space to actually fly it on a regular basis.
What's this to transport stuff?
Yeah, we could when we have the facility to build one. I'm sure we'd have a facility to transport it. That said, I am in the process of, I can't say too much, but working on a design for something else, a commercial project, which will be a large twin, which will probably be the biggest, possibly the biggest model we could fly out of our strip, and that might well come as video content at some point. And again, that's going to be, how big did I say it's going to be? 2.75 metre wingspan, I think it is, off the top of my head. So, say 3 metre wingspan twin. It'd be a good size to play with. I tell you what, there's some amount of delay between filming that and seeing it here. So tonight I've had to actually rig up 2 different internets. You're being recorded on one internet that goes straight to the router in the house, and my laptop is going through a different network to get to the same router, but it's not as quick. So yeah, there's a big delay. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question about the shows. If we do a tender show but don't have a trade stall, we might be able to have the facility for bringing pre-ordered, pre-bought kits with us, depending on how we're transporting and what vehicle we've got. So yeah, if you were wanting to order a kit, and I'd say yeah, we're definitely going to this show, we might well have the facility to bring the kit with us. So I hope that answers the question regarding going to shows. If it does, great. If not, what else do you want to know? How can I help? How are you getting on with that?
Fine.
That engine fits on there right, does it?
We just need a longer drill bit to drill straight through there because the hole doesn't quite line up. It's not perfect.
Yeah. Well, have a look in
The other drill.
the other drill box. We should have long drill bits in there. In fact, what's that one up there?
What one up there?
On the tool rack, there's a drill bit there. What size is that?
Too big.
Okay. Put it through butt first. No, that way.
Yeah, that'll work.
So just do it gently. So you're not actually. So it's not actually following the hole. It's not following the pre-existing hole. It's making its own hole through it. I don't know if we're going to be at Western Park this year. If we're at any show, I'm sure we're recognisable enough that you can come over and say hello, Nick and Ewan. More than happy to speak to anybody that knows us. But please don't just turn around like somebody did at the Nats one year. Do you remember that? No, you're not square. You're not square.
Yeah.
It's got to go that way. Well, it's square that way. Okay. So yeah, if you do come and say hello to us, don't just say what one person said one year at the Nats is, oh, you're that guy on YouTube. Well, I might be, but I'm also more than just the guy that's on YouTube. We have got names, Nick and Ewan. I found it amusing at the time that there were loads of people on YouTube, so I could be any guy. But yeah, in answer to your question, come and say hello. Be careful of that drill bit that way. More than happy to speak to anybody about anything, as long as I'm not in the middle of eating my dinner or something like that.
Or starting an engine on.
Yeah, or starting an engine or anything like that, yeah. Yeah, we do want to go to more shows. It's something that we both enjoy doing. Even if it's just to go and spend a weekend away somewhere. We are trying to get some models sorted out for actually flying at shows. There's one of Ewan's goals to actually just be a display pilot at shows. You've had your B, what now, 2 years? No, it's in August you got it. So it's 18 months you've had it.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, well, 18 months, 2 years he's had his B. So you're desperate to try it out, aren't you, as such?
Yeah.
A lot of people, to be honest, you've probably already seen Ewan on a show line. If you've been to the Nats, and if you've been anywhere near Steve Holland, there's quite a few videos of one of the flights recently where Steve was flying his Comet, his DH-88 Comet.
That's not good, is it?
It's an old video now where there's a little Ewan bringing it back to the pits. But I'm sure you'd do that again, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah. Might not struggle as much to push it this time.
Yeah. So, just out of curiosity, before we go any further, how well does that line up going through there?
Well enough.
Yeah, that's fine. So the other question now is, how the hell are we going to do a throttle push rod?
There's a hole there.
Yeah, but
got what we're covering
A hole where?
somewhere there.
Is it?
I think so.
Move your finger.
It's not a big hole. going to need another hole. Yeah.
Why are you going to need another hole?
Because it's barely. Is it? Okay.
I can't see because you keep on moving it.
No, it's not. Yeah, needs a hole.
Well, what you got to think is looking at it from the front here.
Yeah.
Where you want it ideally is just to the, as I'm looking at it, to the left of. Right. Come around here so you can see. See where that's touching there? You want a hole somewhere there. Why?
Because that's beneath that unit there. So yeah, that's not going to work.
Why?
Because this is too thick, so it needs to go up at an angle.
Why is it too? What do you mean it's too thick?
Because the T-nut is touching the bottom surface on the inside.
Okay, so you might have to drill through the T-nut.
Right.
What I'm saying is to get a, if you look where this screwdriver's pointing, to get a line onto there, onto the throttle arm, you have to come through that side. You're not going to be able to use that hole there and get it anywhere near.
Unless we bent it.
Yeah, but that's.
That could work.
Is that going to put it in the right place?
It'd work better for servo orientation.
The problem with that is really you want to use Bowden tube, a flexible Bowden tube. But here it's going to be flexible in the wrong direction. Do you know what I mean? It's going to.
No, I was thinking about having a Bowden tube and the inside to come to like there and then actually bend the metal rod.
Yeah, but as I was saying, the Bowden tube's the flexible push rod as opposed to solid wire.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how can you bend that?
By you're not using.
Are we talking about the right same thing?
Bowden tube.
Find me some Bowden tube. Over there, probably. No, that's just a snake. Bowden tube's the one that's got like a white outer and it's a twisted wire. You know?
Oh, yeah.
See on?
Yes.
Yeah. So how are you going to get that to bend like neatly how you want it to?
Because that's not what I was thinking.
You're thinking of using a snake with a wire in the end of it?
Yeah.
It might work, but I don't know. Is the answer. Right, what was going on here? Let's have a look. Amy, I've done a lot of show flying in the past, fun times. Yeah, I have as well. I first flew. My first show that I ever flew at was Plumpton, organised by Dave Bishop, DB Sound. I was actually, let's think about this, I was probably 12 at the time, so we're going back a little while, and Plumpton was our home show because it was literally 10 minutes down the road from where we lived, maybe 15 minutes, and it was a great event. I think a lot of things conspired against getting it done, keeping it going. There was a lot of work for DB Sound. What's the issue?
It's not an issue. I thought to put the same bend on it as what's there, to go into there, have it, that is moved.
Yes, I know.
Have a bend to come out to the side and then back that way. So it would go like.
Yeah, but if you look to get it inside here, to come up into the servo, it's going to be there somewhere.
Yeah.
It's going to be awkward. What you might be able to do is use a snake and have the last bit here with a funky bend in it. So like that snake you pulled out.
No, I thought to have a snake come to like right here, have like a metal rod screwed into it.
Yeah.
And then have just the bend here and have the snake on the inside.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. But have it not have it flush with the firewall. Have it coming out to like 15 mil or whatever out the end.
Really?
Because you only need that much travel. But then have your funky bends and whatnot to bend that way and up that way and whatnot.
Bendy
Yeah.
stuff.
But what we do is we put a servo connector in there, so that the push rod just goes in, no, slides into it, and then you clamp down onto the top of it. See the...
Do the same as the acro's done. That's what you're thinking.
I can't see from here what the acro's done.
It's what you're describing.
Anyway, yeah, so we need a piece of snake. Yay long, for a start. Right, I saw another question there. What's your favourite aircraft in your rather large hangar? I'm guessing you would say the Yellow Booker biplane. It's certainly one of my favourites, and I have the plans in my collection. Favourite aeroplane?
Oh, I just smacked myself in the eye with that.
You okay?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Favourite aeroplane? I can't say I've got one favourite aeroplane, to be honest. I do like flying the Yulmeister, but I haven't flown it enough since having it. I could probably count on one hand the amount of flights I've had with it.
I can count 0 hands how many flights I've had on
Yeah, that's because you haven't flown it.
it. Yet.
I want to get it out more, and I do want to get it out this year. I don't think, off the top of my head, I'm looking up at it just now because it's up there. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, stopping it flying just now. Because I did have it all ready and then the weather turned and everything else.
The only thing is, we don't know if there's any damage from when the fuel leaks everywhere.
Yeah, no, I've had it all apart since then.
I don't know if there's any damage.
Yeah.
Since.
One thing I do have to do really is I've got to change the receiver in it, because that's still got a Futaba receiver in it, and we fly Spectrum now. I've still got the Futaba transmitter and it's all set up on there. But we could really do with getting a 9-channel, 10-channel receiver on Spectrum to go in there. One of the biggest problems with that particular model is when I want to go flying it, it's got to be on this bench basically to charge it, and then this bench is then out of commission. I can't do anything else on it. So that's one of the big deciding factors on when we go and fly it. 'Cause it takes, because of the batteries that are in it, I like to cycle them and charge them slowly. So it takes 3 or 4 days to charge it how I want to charge it before we go flying. And because of where we live in Scotland, the weather can change so quickly. So we can get it all ready to go flying, and then the morning of going flying, the weather's absolute crap, so we can't fly.
Because that could happen for hopefully flying this weekend.
Yeah, we're looking at going flying this weekend. What?
Hopefully it is.
You want to get that flying?
I'd like to.
Yeah.
Maybe the.
I don't know if we will, because if we haven't got bolts.
Yeah, we could. Sandbag it down a bit.
No.
Could.
So just weaken them out.
Yeah.
Something's not square then. Things that bolt going through isn't square. Anyway, it'll be fine. So yes, I haven't really got one favourite aeroplane. I just enjoy flying, full stop. I'd happily go and fly a 2-channel glider. When it's actually Ewan's aeroplane. We've got a diesel-powered 2-channel thermal saw up there, which you bought for like 20 quid or something.
15, I think.
Yeah.
It was like 30 quid to get it flying.
As what?
30 quid to get it flying.
Why?
Because we already had the engine in service.
No, the engine came with it. Not that engine.
Yeah, not that engine.
There is no engine.
Yeah.
So it won't cost us 30 quid to get it flying?
Because servo, receiver and switch.
Alright, okay, so anyway, it was a cheap glider.
Yeah, it's cheap.
And we got it going, and then you got bored of it, didn't you? So flying something like that, I find really relaxing. We got what, an hour's flight out of it last time, which was really good. It's only got a 1cc diesel in the front of it. But I can go from something like that, a 2-channel thermal type glider, to a really fast jet style aeroplane or whatever, and I enjoy all of these. Yeah, fun fly, our own designs. The planes that I always put in the car to go with us just now, and this isn't promotion or anything, the blobs are one of the first things that go in.
Yeah.
Mine being the powered one, Ewan's being the experimental electric one. Or the thing, the powered thing, which again, you can see just over my shoulder here, there's another one being built. So yeah, something like that. Simple, one-piece aeroplanes. They can be flown in almost any weather. My favourite plane is my own design, that breaking every rule in the book. My favourite plane is my own design, that breaking every rule in the book in the club.
So you built a dangerous plane to fly, I think.
Okay, you might have to explain a bit more on that, Dan, or Bob, whichever your name is, Dan Bob. Nick, any suggestions what would be a good way to put a LiPo in a 25 size Mirus?
Right underneath it.
I was thinking in through the front, just ahead of the wings. The ones that I've actually seen converted to electric, they put the battery underneath the wing, and then when they go fly it, they connect up the battery, 2 bolts for the wing to go on, fly it, land it, take the wing off with 2 bolts and disconnect the battery. That seems to be the easiest way of doing it.
The simplest way of doing it.
And the simplest way, yeah. You don't then have to figure out a hatch or
Keep the
whatever.
strength in it.
Yeah, you can keep the strength in it. Again, if you haven't seen it, there's a video somewhere on the channel from last year where Simon McNeil's flying his electric 25 size Mirus. That's exactly what he's done. He's put the battery, I'd have to go back and look at the pictures, but his battery's underneath the wing at the front. And he does exactly that. He literally connects up the battery, puts the wing on, flies. 4 minutes later, he lands, takes the wing off, disconnects the battery.
Is it E2K racer?
Yes, he's got an E2K pylon race set up in that, which is off the top of my head a 35-36 by 2000 kV or something, spinning an 8x6 prop on 2200 4S. Apparently you've made a good point, but I'm not quite sure what the good point is. Well done.
I said right underneath the wing, and then you said about the rest of it.
So yeah, glad we could be of help. We do need to build a pair of electric. What would you call multiple Mirus models? Mirus? It's not
Mirus E's.
No,
Because it's ES.
our English isn't very good, and I would actually say MIRUS apostrophe if I was writing it. But somebody also said Myri.
That doesn't sound right.
No, it doesn't sound right. Anyway, multiple.
A group of
Myri. A flock of Myri. Multiple Mirus models. We need to build another 2, both for electric. The 25 size one, we know what we're going to do with electric. I've got the motors over there for them. The 40 size is the one that we're going to have to experiment with. Yeah, the 40 size is going to be one that we experiment with on the powertrain, because I'm not sure what's going to be the best setup for it yet. I've seen a couple of motors that I might well get and experiment with, but it's one of the reasons why I don't actually recommend, or I haven't got a recommended setup, is because there isn't one yet that I would happily recommend to put in. Yeah, the electric limbo darts, so taking the wings off, taking the bands off and whatnot, I can understand that being a pain.
Why didn't you put that
With the
hatch there?
with the Mirus, it's literally just 2 wing bolts and it's off.
Not 6 to 8 rubber bands.
Yeah, well, it depends on how the model is designed. I mean,
You could easily just turn this into 2 bolts, move service load, put a plate in there, put a former in here, because then you put slots and
yeah,
bolts into there.
anything's possible with enough imagination, time, and money. Yeah. So I think that's us up to date with the questions there. Right. So what are we doing with this?
Going back to the point of favourite aeroplanes, I don't think either of us have any, because I did have one, smashed it to bits, and then tried not to get to attach it to any other planes.
Yeah. So I don't know if anybody watching this right now actually knows what Ewan's on about, but it was when you were practicing for your B, wasn't it? Ewan was given by my dad an Acrobot, which we refitted brand new engine and everything in it. It was a kit built Acrowatt, tough as old boots, and you did all sorts of stuff with that, didn't you? And he got really confident with it, and I actually thought he got overconfident with it at some point, but then he double thumbed it and full powered it into the ground nose first. Totally wrote it off.
You've still got bits though.
You've still got the trophy tail end of it, haven't you? He's got a trophy on his wall of the tail end. The engine is in his other Acrowatt,
So the receiver, so the servos.
which is the ALTF one, which is a different aeroplane.
It doesn't fly the same.
It doesn't fly the same, no. But you still enjoy flying it.
I enjoy flying everything.
But as you said, because of that one incident, which did shake you up, didn't it? He doesn't now get attached to an aeroplane. I think the biggest thing with that was that.
That was my first ever massive crash.
Yeah, but it's also right before. It was like the
week before.
It was 2 weeks before you were meant to be sitting your beat.
Yeah.
With that aeroplane, and you almost panicked that you wouldn't be able to do it.
So did you.
Well, no, I knew you could do it, but what I was worried about is what would the examiner look for, and were you able to use another aeroplane? Long story short, it was all fine. The examiner knew exactly what the story was, and fully understood. And when he saw Ewan flying, he's like, he could be flying anything, and he'd be able to pass him. Like, he could see what Ewan could do. So that's all done and dusted. And now it's just onwards and upwards, bigger, literally bigger and better things. Now flying petrol. We were going to try and get Ewan's Acrowatt XL. I keep on looking up there because it's up here. We were going to try and get Ewan's Acrowatt XL ready for this weekend, but I think it's going to be a bit of a tall order.
Let's look at this so we can got that down.
Yeah, but we might as well try and get something finished.
Yeah, that.
It'd be easier to fly this in this weather just now.
Yeah, but the wind bolts, the engine bolts don't have.
I still don't think we'll be able to get that done in time now for when we go flying. Because I think we've got more chance of getting that ready to fly.
Yeah.
And flying that in whatever weather comes. So again, I don't know if you can see, over Ewan's shoulder, there's a model sitting on the bin. That's going to be coming as a video soon. It's one that we picked up at a local, I'm going to keep on calling it a swap meet, in the form of an auction. Nobody was buying anything, so it was like, it was 20 quid with servos and engine. It's not a good aeroplane by any means, and it's not a great engine, and it's certainly not very good servos, but it all works. So yeah, we don't have to do a bit of work to it, and it's just about ready to fly. If it lasts us one session at the flying field, we're quids in, I think, and we would have had our fun out of it. Good luck to you, William. I hope it flies this weekend. Alright, good night. Cheers, thanks for coming.
Is that Dave?
No.
Yeah.
Oh yes, it is Dave, sorry.
Is
Yeah.
that Dave Fettis?
No, I don't think it's Dave Fettis. So yeah, let's hope we can get the limbo dancer sorted. What you could be doing, you could be getting the throttle servo fitted.
So my answer.
Do you need that in there? I take it you have tested these servos?
Yeah.
What is it you pinched to put in there?
363.
Right, can I suggest you change them around?
Yeah.
So this is a pet hate of mine. This, I don't think it's our doing, but when we get servos, I don't know how well you'll be able to see. These ferrules in the servo just now are fitted incorrectly. The whole idea of these is that the bell mouth on the ferrule goes underneath, so when they're screwed down, it spreads the load onto the mounting surface. That way, the way they are just now, as soon as you screw them down, all they're going to do is cut into the surface underneath. So they need turn. Excuse me. They need turnaround. The plane is called the rule breaker. Right. Okay. Because it can flat spin to the point you can't number the spins, but it's only got a 45. Pardon me. 45 FSR, ABC, and my Acrowatt XL. There's a Super Tiger 3000 turned to petrol. 45 FSR, funnily you should mention that engine. I have one sitting over on that bench specifically for a Maris 40. I've had numerous engine ideas for the Maris 40 that's sitting over there waiting to be finished, but I wanted a period engine, and the 45 FSR is a perfect period engine for it. Late 80s engine, and I've been looking for one for a while that's in decent condition. I actually saw one advertised on Facebook. Messaged the guy and he said he had something like 5 of them or something, and I said, no, I'll take the best one that you've got. And it was something like, how much, 50 quid or something? What's that for?
Just trying to get that because that's basically about to break it.
Right, you don't need it that
Yeah,
thick.
that's the thinnest it is.
Have a look up there.
I have had a look at it.
Look in the small box, not that one, there's a small box somewhere there.
I don't know. That's a small one.
Yeah. There is, I can see some thinner spruce here as well. See just there. So at the minute, I'm talking to you just behind the laptop here. You might be able to see it in that camera.
Where?
Yeah, there's down there, look.
That one?
Yeah. Or even the one to the left.
One to the left.
No,
That
just,
one?
no, just put your finger that way. That, yeah, something like that. What's that? Is that bigger or smaller?
Thinner. That's thin.
Yeah, well, something like that.
Just something to strengthen up a bit.
Yeah.
It's thin.
Yeah, so Ewan's looking for some spruce to straighten up the servo tray. What was I saying? 45 FSR, yeah. I got one, it was like 50 quid delivered. I haven't run it up yet, but I just feel that it's a nice engine, the bearings are nice, really good compression. So yeah, that's going to be going in the Maris. I did actually contemplate looking for another particular engine because the first ever Maris I flew, when I was younger than him, had a OS, I can't remember if it was 45 or 46 VRDF, the ducted fan engine, with a tune pipe on some really small coarse pitch prop, and that went like absolute stink. It wasn't ours, it was a friend of ours, but he was actually afraid to fly it. He flew it twice and was frightened by it. So yeah, that was the first ever Maris I flew. I think the 45 F, sorry? Biro? Yeah, there's one there. The 45 FSR is a model that, or an engine that fits the model, if that makes sense. It's in keeping with it. You don't need 2. You don't need 2.
No. Because this one's because this one is cracking.
Oh, the actual tray's crap. Webra 40 speed for the 40 Maris. That's the age. Yeah, about that. Yeah, I did think that, Mike. I haven't seen any official thing yet. They might be out there. I don't know. Pardon me. It doesn't surprise me in the slightest because it's normally January when they announce that it is going ahead. So it doesn't surprise me that it's not. My personal opinion is that I think we'll see fewer and fewer and fewer model shows on RAF or military property going forwards. We're a hassle to them, as in our community. Cosford isn't going ahead. That's on an airbase.
Cosford's thinking about moving though.
Yeah, but it's moving to a non-military site. Cosford, I've been to it 3 times. You've been to it once. You probably can't remember. We were on holiday in Wales. We went for the day.
Oh, I do remember that actually.
Yeah. It was a good show, but having been there, I probably would have now only gone if we were flying there, rather than just going to spectate. Because for us, it's a long way to go just to spectate. So any show's a long way just to spectate. But yeah, I wanted to get back onto the show scene ideally. Unfortunately, my work is the biggest issue just now. Is that it's so unplanned that I can't book anything. Oh, that's the other show I wanted to go to. the BMFA Model Builders Show at Buckminster in October. So the first or second weekend in October. That's another show that I might well try and get to. Paul Bardot keeps on bugging me to go down there and have a stand. And I want to go. Both events that have been on there, I planned to go, but my work basically got in the way. Well, I tell you what, Amy, if that's the case, I'd like to know who it's been sold to. It'd be good if the BMFA could buy it. And again, it doesn't surprise me that airfields are being sold off. You've got where Berkshire Heath is, you've got Cranwell just up the road. They don't need two airfields so close to each other, so they're probably going to get rid of the most lucrative one. It wouldn't surprise me if that whole area gets ploughed and turned into a housing estate, as they do all over the place. It will be a great shame. So yeah, if that's what's happening. The Nationals always started out as a competition and turned into a multi-faceted event. Those events will continue. The national competitions will continue in different locations. But there's not going to be many places where they can hold an event of that size and nature anymore. I think what we're going to have to do as a community is enjoy the smaller events, the smaller social events, shall we say. If one wants to compete, you'll go to the location for that competition. It's just the way it is.
I think one of the things some people enjoyed was being able to being able to go to a show, compete at a show, buy a kit or something, and watch some people fly.
Yeah, that's a multifaceted. There's lots of different things that could or can be done. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Mike. I've spent many hours there just wandering around, to be honest, looking at stuff, picking up bargains in the campsite and things like that. I think that looking back at it now, I don't know if you remember, the best bargain I ever picked up at the Nationals was a President T240 kit. And it was at the time when they weren't in production or anything like that. And this guy just basically had a table outside of his tent, and it was probably 4 or 5 kits high, all across this table. And right at the bottom was this T240 kit. And I don't know if he misunderstood which kit I was on about, but when I said to him, no, how much is it? And he said, oh, 50 quid. I nearly ripped his arm off. At the time, 50 quid for a T240 kit. I think there's something like, from Slack, it must be nearly 300 quid or something now, maybe even more than that. So yeah, had that for a good while. I don't think I ever built it. I can't think what happened to that kit.
I think the best thing I was sorting out was Martin Thompson making a deal right next to the sign.
Again, for those of you watching this that don't understand, at the Nationals there's a big massive campsite, and they put these signs up one year saying no trading in the campsite, and our good friend Martin Thompson did a deal on an aeroplane or something. There's a photo of him handing over this aeroplane with cash next to the sign.
Over the sign.
Over the sign, yeah. Oldham Flying Club have lost theirs. Do you know what? It's a huge shame that places are losing their sites, and I really wish there was something that could be done to help prevent it. But I don't know what there is. Unless you're a landowner yourself, you haven't got much of a hope. Where we are in Scotland, let's say within an hour and a half's driving of where we are, there's probably 10 different clubs. Probably even more than that. Within an hour and a half. Say within an hour, there's 10 different clubs we can fly at.
Within
I'm thinking all the way up to Dundee. No, that's an hour and a half. Well, not even Dundee, but
Dundee's probably too, isn't it?
yeah. But certainly within an hour's drive of where we live, there's a good handful of clubs, and not one of them really has any noise issues or anything like that.
There's two that I can think of.
Where?
The oh, the club that everybody talks about having a noise point saying you couldn't fly that there because of the noise. Warwick's, yeah.
Yeah.
And what was the other one? I don't know what it's called. It's on the way down from. We drive past it from the old house, going down to Narrow Bob's. I think it's Narrow Bob's.
Hamilton?
Maybe.
Anyway, there's a lot more clubs without noise issues than clubs with noise issues. So we're thankful that we've got that. We do keep on top of particularly noisy engines as best we can. But
There's something to noisy will tranquilise it down.
Yeah. But where our site is, it's literally in the middle of farmland. And that land isn't even suitable for building on or doing anything. So I can't see us losing that site. Going back to Barkston, due to the nature of air bases, they're big flat areas, ideal for building on. So that's what they do. Developers buy up the land because they've got the financial resources than you or I, and they make lots of money from it. So it was always a dream of mine to win the lottery and buy a big bit of land and make a big sort of flying site out of it, something big enough to fly full size from. But I can't see that happening, especially as we don't play the lottery anymore. Sorted? So, are we doing we're not using valve then? It might be easier to use a snake, because then you can actually have a proper bend here. Yeah? So you put that away just now, find a snake.
I was going to put this way.
Yeah, if you find a snake, you're going to need an Allen key of some sort to take that off.
See, because this isn't full length anymore, should we not put?
Pardon me, yep. So, going to this live stream affair, I don't even know how long we've been going for now. An hour and 3 minutes. Is this something that you guys enjoy? Is it something you want to see us do on a more regular basis? I don't know. I'm doing it more because I thought it'd be something you might want to watch or be involved with or see or whatever. But if you guys aren't really interested, I won't bother doing them. Yeah, so answers on a postcard if that's the sort of thing you'd like to see. What is it you're doing? Why do you need to drill it? There's a hole there.
That's a good point. It's not big enough.
I don't know, but you can have a look and poke it from this side where you can see it. Why don't you use the long drill bit? Because
The long drill bit isn't thick enough. It's a long drill bit, it's the same thickness as that.
where's the other drill box? And you can't use that drill bit anyway, because it's the wrong type of drill. So that's got a point to it.
Yes.
How are you going to get that centred on that hole?
Put it in the hole and it'll centre itself.
No, it won't. Because it's just the wrong type of drill. We might not have one big one that's long enough. So we're looking for an extension drill bit. What's that one up there?
Which one is the silver one?
The long one that's going across both magnets.
Silver one.
What colour's the other one? You can always give it a little bit of a wiggle to open up if it's not big enough. Where's the drill? You have helped me make a decision tonight, so this live stream has been good for. Good. I'm glad you've made that decision.
What's the decision?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the decision is. It might be the Weber Speed 40 that's been decided on. And this is a ridiculously big drill bit for what we're trying to do here. All we're trying to do is make a hole in this firewall. I think I'm through.
That sounded horrible.
Not quite big enough.
You went through a screw.
I went through a screw. Excellent.
You went through 2 screws.
There you go. Oh, it's big enough now.
That needs to come to the... There you are. That needs to come.
You don't need that bit.
Yeah. Do I need that bit?
Not yet, no, because you're trying to decide where that's going.
So I think that needs to
Um,
get rid of that.
What's that?
That bit of wood that originally held it in, I thought.
Okay. So you're probably going to have to create something else to support it.
It's not do something.
Ah, battery. Sorry. Yes. Yeah. No. That's to be honest. I think that's the easiest way of doing it. I do try and go down the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid. And that's not saying you're stupid. That's just that's just what I try and stick to. There must be a simple option for doing something.
If there isn't a simple option doing it, you're doing it the simple way.
Yeah. There's always an easy way of doing something. Might not be the best way, but there's always an easy way of doing something. In this case, the Morris 25 or 40 even, it's probably going to be easier just to have the battery underneath the wing, lift the wing off, 2 bolts, stick the wing back on, and it should all be good. So one thing I did think of, which you're going to poke me in the face with that. One thing I did think of with these live streams, and I think it'd have to be, I don't know how to word it. What I was thinking about doing was actually doing a live build. You know, taking a kit and building it live as best we could. Is that something people would want to see? If it is, let us know. If it is, what would you like to see built live as best as possible? Or in real time, shall we say? I know we've got 2 blobs to build, both gliders. That could be something we could do as a real-time live stream. It would probably be, let's think about this. It would probably be like an all-day thing. So it would be a long stream. But yeah, I don't know, it would take longer than that to build it, but what we'll probably do is do a real-time build. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, do it without time lapse.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, but do it all as a live stream rather than a video. Or actually saying that, we could actually do it as a video rather than a live stream. At least then we can get the quality out of it. Yeah, what would you guys prefer? Would you prefer to have a live stream like this, which could be interactive, or would you prefer to have a what I call pre-recorded video in real time, i.e. no time lapses, just videoing everything as we do it? I don't know what would be easiest. This is easy enough to do. This has got the bonus of real time interaction. I've just noticed something. Why have you got those marks as blue on the servos? They need to cut off, right, okay. But they're not going to get in the way then?
No, it's just extra weight.
Yeah, like you're going to notice that.
I will notice that.
So yeah, that was just an idea for a live build. I keep on calling it live build, a real-time build. Pardon me. Quite a few people have said they like the detail that we go to. The sort of the depth that we go in describing what we're doing and whatnot. But it comes down to what people are going to watch, really. I know what I watch and why I like watching that content. I don't know why people watch what we do, really. Why are you getting out together?
I want to say put a hole through it for
Put a hole through it.
for that to sit in,
Okay.
and then we'll screw that into this.
You are going to have space to get. Right, could I suggest that you don't actually glue that into there yet?
Because of the switch.
No, we don't know exactly where the push rod's got to sit. We need to connect it all up to the servo and just see where it naturally sits before putting it in that and then trying to bend it around the corner or something.
I was going to drill the hole for this, slide it over that so it's there, so we moved along, and then if it needs to be packed out, we just go another bit on and then glue that to the side. I did think about it.
Yeah. Got to bear in mind as well, we need to get a tank in here. That isn't necessarily that one. We might have to put a bigger tank in. The next size up, the red one. Yeah, red one. That's only 4 ounce, that won't last any.
Less than 2 ounces.
Yeah. So one thing that I am going to do content-wise, and it's because I haven't found it anywhere else. Most people watching this will know. Hold on. How about a live video chat while playing a time-lapse build of a model?
That's boring for us.
How about a live video chat while playing a time-lapse build of a model?
So we record a time lapse and then do like a live voiceover of it.
Is that what you mean, Paul? I'm trying to think how that would work.
I don't know if we could do it.
The problem with that is you'd probably. A lot of people have asked for detail in what I'm doing. No, I'm gluing this to that and why. No, we've just discussed. Well, me and you have just discussed what he's doing here with this. So it allows to see the video and talk through the build points. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I get what you're saying. The issue with doing the time lapse is a lot of people want to actually see the detail of what's being done. So I don't know if doing it live like this would be beneficial, or having a pre-recorded one that's just recording the whole day, shall we say?
I need you to do the rest of this because I've got no idea how to do it, so I've done it before.
Okay. Basically, cut it oversized. So you're going basically from the centre of the servo head to about there. You take a knife and you just sort of roll it back and forth to score it. Yeah? Why don't you use cutters?
What do you mean cutters?
Like snips to cut it.
Could we crush it? Pinch it together.
Right, good.
It's not that one, it's not like.
Yeah. So yeah, there's decision or thought process to do there. I might do it and just see what the reaction to it is like. Building what, I'm not sure of yet. But on the note of building stuff, there's, again I mentioned just a second ago, there's most people watching this okay, Paul, so what you're saying is then you prefer doing it in this method like this just now, a live video stream with the chat, rather than a recorded and uploaded video with comments below it. I think that's what you mean.
I think he wants us to do something so he can ask questions of why we're doing it.
Yeah, like this, just now. Why are we even thinking about doing this like this way? I think I'm following what you're saying. Most people in the UK know what fun fighters are. Most people have seen the fun fighters flying at shows.
Some of you may have flown with them at the shows.
Yep. A lot of people might well have built and flown them. But I certainly don't know what the current differences are between the Cambria kits and the Cambrian kits. I know there is differences, but I don't know what they are. So, what I have done, I spoke to Darren at funfighters.co.uk, which is Cambria, and I've bought a P51 Mustang kit, which is sat over there, which you can just about see it in shot. No, it's just there.
You can see it in shot.
Yeah, you can see it in shot. And above us, up there, I bought about 4 years ago a P51 Mustang kit from Cambry.
From wherever you bought it from.
From Cambrian. It was, I can't know, that must have been more than 4 years ago, because that was at Haydock Park I bought that.
You bought a Haydock?
Yeah.
Are they ever going to do Haydock again?
Doubt it. So, the point is, I've got two Fun Fighter P51s from both different companies. I have paid for both of them. There is no allegiance to either manufacturer. I'm planning on doing a tandem build, as in a side-by-side build, so that I can learn what the differences are and pass it on to you guys watching the crap we put on YouTube. The reason I want to do that is because, one, I don't know what the differences are, and two, I suspect other people don't know what the differences are. I've got two near damn it identical engines that aren't over there anymore. Where are they going? You've got them away.
Yeah, 32 SX.
Yes, two OS32 SXs, which seems to be the go-to engines, apart from the Western 32s, 36s, whatever they are. So they'll have the same power in the front of them. And hopefully that will become a bit of a series, showing how they're built. I don't think they're going to be the right ones to do as a live build like this, in this format, but it's content that I want to do and build and finish and whatnot,
Well,
to show you and other people what the differences are.
what could be, because in this live format is refurbishing things.
Yeah,
That could be the best thing.
yeah, doing refurbs, or if people want to see how, like, one of our kits goes together. If there's a particular kit that you want to see,
Or how to covering or something.
yeah, how to do stuff is a bit more, certainly covering is a bit more difficult to actually show people accurately, because it'd be moving the camera and this, that and the other.
Can you not have two cameras and swap them over?
I haven't got the equipment for doing that, because you need a switcher and all sorts. Yeah, big YouTubers that have got big YouTube channels can afford to get that sort of stuff, have their own studio and this, that and the other, but
Big YouTubers that have got big money with big setups with lots of money.
and we're sitting here with a phone and a laptop, because that's what works for us just now.
And a 20 quid model.
And the 20 quid model aeroplane. The engine's worth more than the aeroplane.
Because it's brand new.
So yeah, there's plans afoot for different content. If there's anything that you want to see, if you want to see me and Ewan do this or that, or build this, or go there, or film this, or film that, say so. Let us know. What do you enjoy watching? What do you not like watching? I've got the analytics. I can see what people are watching when and how long for and everything else. But it doesn't really tell me, yeah, I like watching that. It tells YouTube that, it doesn't tell me that. For example, do you want to see more 3D printed stuff? Don't know. We've got two aeroplanes that I could build live, for example.
Oh, I hate some of this.
That's the first of one. Fully 3D printed. It'll probably have to be something I do myself, because Ewan can't stand the sound of it. But yeah, for something we're going to build with Ewan involved, it probably won't be 3D printed. Please don't throw them at that.
Slow that in quick, because the noise was opened up.
Yeah. So, is there 3D printing stuff you want to see? I'm not saying I'm really good with 3D printers, but I've been using it quite a lot recently.
And if you want to see either of us doing covering with material covering, I will not be involved.
Yeah, he means fabric, whether it be Solatex or Oratex, nylon. Speaking of which, nylon, we have got another series coming up which Ewan's going to do predominantly himself. There's that box there, to the right of the fun fighter.
Oh,
We've got we've actually got 6 combat wings,
Yeah.
think about it.
7.
3 combat wings from Tim Hobbins, and you can't see it in shot, but up here we've got a Fly Me combat wing. Now if you go back through the catalogue of videos, you'll see Ewan flying control line for the first time. That's what he was flying, the blue wing. That was done by Tim Hobbins. That's the mini Fly Me for a 1.5 diesel.
So the bigger flags you've got.
Yeah, in the kit we've got the bigger standard size Fly Me's, which take 15s, 2.5 diesels, or 19s, 3.1 cc diesels. Really easy to build. We've got 3 of them, simply because I suspect they will get broken.
Considering I want to get my A for it this year.
Yeah. So we've got those Ewan's going to build. I have got to find a building board for them that's movable, because our big building board, which you can just see in shot over there, has got big stuff on it. I just need to get a piece of ply for them to be built on, and then he can get on and film that.
Can we not cover it in the stuff that you want to cover in?
If we're going to cover it in the stuff I want to cover it in, what it is, it's basically ripstop nylon. It's a really cheap way of covering models that don't necessarily need to look good, like combat wings. It uses ripstop nylon off eBay, and it uses a thinned down, I can't remember the name of the glue. It's an Uhu glue, which is thinned down.
Yep.
Evening Pablo. And yes, we do, Amy.
A lot more than what we've just said.
Yeah, a lot more than what we've just said. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I wanted to experiment with this covering, simply because it's cheap. I mean, I haven't even looked to see how much Tex covering is now.
Well, the pink stuff is like
No, that's not Tex. That's film. That's plastic film.
plastic film is nice. It looks good as well.
It depends on what you're covering. I mean, the puppeteers, I can tell you right now, the puppeteers are going to be covered in fabric.
And you're going to be covering.
And I will be covering them, yes. Ewan has a tactile issue with certain things.
I don't know what that means.
You don't like touching stuff.
Yeah, not them.
So from a covering point of view, I'll be doing anything covered in fabric. I have, again, underneath the bench over there, just as you're looking at it to the left, I think, of Ewan's head, I've probably got 20 rolls of Solatex, maybe even more, which I got in a job lot. So some of it was from Martin, yeah. So I've got that I can use, but I want to experiment with this cheaper covering method on the combat wings. Because apparently you cover it and then you varnish it with cheap £5 tub varnish. So yeah, that's something Ewan's going to film and do and be involved with. Certainly the build of it anyway.
Could we do one that isn't covered then?
Possibly. I have also got a series of videos which I didn't actually realise Ewan had filmed on a glider which is above us. He's got to film the last segment of it, but he did it all when I was away at work, and I'll get that video up. Might even get that video up next week. But I'm really quite proud of what he's achieved off his own back with that. We just need to get it flowing properly. Dan Bob, how many Acro watts have you got? How many have we got? 4 Acro watts. How many watt 4s? 1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6,
6 Watt 4s. Haven't got any Watts. Got an Uno Watt.
That I started to refurbish. That needs done.
Yeah, that you started to refurbish. See, 9, I mean, we've got Acro Watts, we've got 1 foamy, 2 ARTF standard size, and 1 Acro Watt XL. Watt 4s, we've got.
Oh crap, I counted them.
Huh?
I counted them wrong.
Yeah, we've got another.
We've got 5.
We've got 5 Acro Watts. So we've got a kit built one there as well.
I completely forgot about the kit built one.
Watt 4s, we've got a foamy Watt 4, Watt 4 XL, a Watt 6, which is basically a Watt 4 Extreme, but was built before the Extreme existed.
You are. What, man, the concept you think?
We've got the latest version, Watt 4 Mark
3.
whatever. No, it's not Mark 3. It's the latest one from Ripmax, the one that can be electric or IC. We've got it as electric. And it is, the setup that's in it, the 4S setup, is ideal.
It prop hangs on about 3/4 power.
Yeah, it really is good. And that's on 5,000? 4S 5,000s. Balances perfectly as well. You know, battery where it should be in the front, no lead, no nothing.
2 Acro Watt XLs. We've got one of each.
What? Yeah, so there's not really any need for having multiples of big aeroplanes. They just take up space. I've just got lots of different big aeroplanes.
I think I've got more big aeroplanes than you do. That, cap, that.
Right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I think we both have the same.
Huh?
Do we have the same?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
We've got an extra Watt 4. Just had another Watt 4.
Yes.
Got a mini Watt 4. You can see it just above my head, over the top there, sitting on the worktop there, sitting on the racking there. We've got models we're forgetting about.
Yeah.
Just watch your vid on the Chinese heater. Any waste oil running? Do you mean have we run it on waste oil? If that's the case, no, we haven't.
That's waste oil.
Not used engine oil. The reason for that is because, again, I don't know where you are in the world. In the UK, it is, I believe, illegal to burn used engine oil. Also, the contaminants, or no, the particles that are in it, can totally clog up this type of diesel heater. I've only run this one on diesel and kerosene, and it's currently on kerosene. As you saw in the most recent video, the reasons why I'm using kerosene now, basically cheaper. I'm not really wanting to experiment with it. It's there for a function, it's to keep this place warm, which it does really well. I don't really want to break it just to see if it breaks, so I probably won't be trying it on used oil. But yeah, I'm sure there are people out there that will or have tried it on used engine oil or used oil, but won't be here.
I think if we go flying at the weekend, I'm going to take my phone and go for. I've flown it in donkeys.
Just off a bit of a tangent there, you know.
Which is not really listening to what you're saying.
I noticed. What was I saying before about?
Mini Watt 4.
Yes, we've got the mini Watt 4 as well.
And we were talking about big planes.
Yeah, we've got a fair few big planes, which we haven't flown enough of.
I think we need to try it and make it a goal to fly as many petrol models this year as possible.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, we need to have
One Mustang.
We need to have more petrol models ready to go. That's the thing. I wouldn't mind designing and building something for that 20. I've got a DLE 20 that was in my previous Watt 4 XL, which met the ground pretty hard.
Very hard ankle.
Yeah, pretty hard on rolling. Well, it was certainly on its back when it went in. Still got the wing. Everything else was matchwood.
Ish.
No, it just needs a small repair to it.
Small repair.
Yeah.
I had a look at it and it's basically snapped.
No, it hasn't.
Yes, it has. The sheetwood's gone in and 4 of the ribs have smashed.
You sure?
Positive.
Oh well, might need more work than what I thought. But anyway, I've got a DLE 20, which, although I haven't checked it over since the crash, is a really good engine. I just need to find something to put it in.
And buy another prop.
I've probably got a super prop. No,
No,
you're
you
taking
don't.
the piss out of that, aren't you? That, yes. That engine, I was getting that aeroplane ready to fly urgently for somebody not too far away from me to fly, and I special delivery couriered a prop from down south, and it cost me like 30 quid or something for the prop delivered, and we got half a flight out of it. You didn't even fly it, did you?
No.
So,
I've got one to fly.
I mean, sure. Did I not order 2 props that time?
No. You ordered one for special delivery, then I ordered 2. I need to order another one actually because I broke the other one because it nosed over.
Right. Okay.
So,
Anyway, so yeah, I've got a DLE 20 that I might. That could be a job for you actually, or a job for us, designing a sport model for a 20. Yeah, even if you do the rough drawing on paper, and then between us we can then draw it in CAD and get all the parts and everything made out for it.
I'll be able to draw on paper, but I don't want to use CAD to.
Oh no, that's no, we can do it between us. Toothpick.
Matchwood.
Matchwood. Oh, in relation to the crash? Yeah, matchwood.
Like the size of toothpicks.
The size of toothpicks. Yeah, it just it looked like a fuselage, but you picked it up and everything inside it was a bag of shattered wood. No, I don't want to.
Let's just see if it's easy to know.
So yeah, maybe designing something for a 20, a sport model. Well, something not dissimilar to that in size would work. Two-piece wing.
I was thinking something between a mix between a Lot 4 and a Formula. Maybe high wing but the same shape as Formula. Just change it a bit.
Like construction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like the same shape as a fuselage. But slightly different.
What?
Take bits of that, merge them together,
Yeah.
play.
Yes, yeah. But what we can do is we can play about with it and see what it looks like. What CAD software do you use and why? For years I've used AutoCAD. But then when I couldn't get it available for free anymore, I started using, what's it called? I've got it here. NanoCAD for 2D stuff. But I've also recently started teaching myself how to use Fusion 360 because I've had a need to model 3D stuff for 3D printing more than anything. And it's almost reverse thinking of what I'm used to. With the 2D modelling, the 2D CAD, I've done, obviously you can only see the 2D parts, and I've had to do the 3D stuff in my head, i.e. How do parts fit together and how do they interact. I've had to do it all in my head. Whereas with the 3D modelling of Fusion 360, you actually do the 3D part first and then pull the 2D parts out of it afterwards. FreeCAD, yeah, NanoCAD is free. It's basically, in what I've seen so far, it's a very lightweight version of AutoCAD. It's very, very similar. If there's a program called FreeCAD, I've not tried it. I just got something that worked for me. But yeah, through Fusion 360 is what I'm learning just now. There's loads of tutorials out there. There's even a a chap who I can't remember his name. I know his name's Terrence, but I can't remember what his YouTube. It's called RC CAD to VR or something. Really, really informative. He's actually building an L1011. Everything from basic conceptual drawings to a full flying electric model. Everything is done in 3D modelling and fusion.
Would you be able to do this bit as long as you have to do it?
Yeah. Sorry, I was having a chat with these people.
How much chat last time?
Yeah. Well, we've only been an hour and 35 minutes. Right. So basically, you actually want that. You want that to be sat in its natural position. And you can always cut it back. If you leave it loose, you can always then take it apart, cut it back, and put it back in. So then what you want is that long enough to come past there. Just a little bit, because you're going to be putting threaded rods at both ends. So this, you then... You can actually cut through this, because this is a lot thinner. And it stays round. That's got a bend in it. So, what you then want is your threaded rod.
Do you want fully threaded?
No. But you want this fully threaded into that.
So you're going to want another one?
Most probably. So what we're doing now is we're trying to make up the push rod for the engine. Did you get the Allen keys to get this bit off? Throttle on. It's in the wrong place. Right. No, just like one like that. That's the right size, like a really small one.
I don't know what size it is, so I've got that.
Well, it's going to be. See the silver handled ones.
How small? Like tiny or?
Relatively tiny, yeah. Yeah, have a look there somewhere. I don't know if that is the right size. Maybe next size up. I don't want to round that off. Somebody's already had a go at that. See, that's laying it. It's loose.
So is that just like color?
It's like a collet, yeah. But you see how they've like stamped the inner collet to actually hold the arm on. So what you're going to need is the connectors that go on there, and then you put that through, and then you screw down on top of it. They're in a drawer over there. You have to move that Puma.
What? A drawer up there or something?
I can't see where you're pointing.
Up there? Down there or up there?
Up there. So who's still with us? We've got four, assuming according to this, we've got 4 people with us? No. I don't know what this is telling me just now. There's either 1 or 4 people watching this just now. I think it's in the right hand unit. I did tell you to move the Puma so you could get in there and see. Evening, Cliff. How's it going? As I said to everybody else, any questions, just shout. We'll try and answer them. Ewan is currently looking for what I call a servo connector. Yeah. We've got to find one that's big enough to go through there and in there. Yep, so now you need a screw that goes on top and a nut that goes underneath. I bet that won't fit in there. That's going to be far too big. That's too big. So you've got 2 nuts. Sorry, you've got 1 nut, 2 washers.
Just a bit of background noise.
Yeah, we love being a bit of background noise. Normally we would have the radio on, blaring just now, but of course that's going to cause copyright issues.
Does it with a live?
It will do, because this ends up being not live, it ends up being pre-recorded.
Can you not edit it?
No, not easily, because it takes out our voices. Right, you need to drill that out a little bit to that size. So, 1 second. I don't know how well you'll be able to see, but that's what we're on about.
They're not going to be able to see.
No, I don't think you'll be able to see it. Is there still a washer on the end of that?
I'm going to take the washer and put it with all of them.
So, what you're building then, Cliff? What's on the board? Is it ready to fly this weekend, do you think?
Needles can fly bolts.
Well, I don't know if you heard what you were saying there, but in that vein, if there is anybody visiting the west of Scotland, lives in the west of Scotland, you're more than welcome to come and fly with us as and when you're here and the weather's suitable. Send us a message. Probably the easiest way to send us a message is through Facebook
Or Instagram.
if you're watching this back after it's live, is that right? How do you explain that? Once after we finish the live stream and it's then on YouTube, if you're watching us back, there'll be links in the description to Facebook and Instagram, etc. But yeah, Air District Model Flying Club, that's our club.
Which one do you want to try to talk about?
Go for the longer range one.
That's really.
You can take that drill bit out of it as well. Is anybody else doing what Cliff's doing and building tonight and just got us on in the background? Our dulcet tones. Sorry, it's actually quite nice thinking that somebody else is doing a similar sort of thing to what we are.
I mean, not
But they've got us making noise and dribbling in the background. Be careful you don't hurt through your finger. Can I give you a tip? Stop. Hold it like that. Because then your fingers aren't anywhere near the drill bit coming through the other side.
That's what stopped that one from ending.
Okay. Don't drill your finger. Joe, we should have had like biscuits or something out here as well.
Yes, you could say yes.
Don't think we've got any. I'm thinking about, do you remember in the old house we used to have like the tubs of cakey stuff, like millionaire shortbread or little crispy cakes or little brownies from Morrison's.
Oh yeah.
That's what we should have.
Sounds
So washer underneath the connector.
one. Yeah.
Yep. And you are going to want thread lock as well. Then a washer. Then thread lock. No, you want thread lock before you put the nut on.
Because I was going to just put this on, but drop in and tighten up onto the.
No, if you don't have it tight, that needs to turn. Yeah.
Got 2D of these that we could use.
What?
Got 2D of these that we could use.
What do you mean?
One's a Mustang.
Used for what?
The
Sport aeroplane?
yeah.
Yeah. And to be be honest, I wouldn't be adverse to buying another one if we needed to. No, it's not. It's down the floor. Oh dear. I've been getting up too early and staying up too late recently. Just a tiniest little bit, so. Have you got a teaspoon? Yeah. So there's either 5 or 6 people watching just now. I don't know. I think it's 5. I'm just looking at the background for this live stream thing. 3 people like it apparently. And the average view duration is 14.5 minutes. South Devon, nice part of the world. Near Cornwall.
If you're ever on holiday.
Sorry?
If they're ever on holiday.
Yeah.
I don't think it's worth the drive for.
To come here?
Yeah, for a day.
No, it wouldn't be worth it for a day. We were down in Perranporth in Cornwall 2 years ago.
So much not like that to drive for
Yeah.
3 o'clock.
Get your move, yeah? You put it on back to front.
How have I put it on? Oh yeah.
Try again. 2 years ago, or maybe even 3 years ago, we were down in Perranporth, just because it looked like a nice part of the world, and got speaking to John Woodfield, where all the ocean breeze started from, and we actually flew on his slope, which was a real pleasure, being about 500 metres away from his house.
Then he walked there with 2 planes.
Yeah.
Forgot to put a receiver in one, and
No, he didn't.
yeah, he did. He forgot to put a receiver in his little plane.
All right.
That's why I flew the gentle lady.
Yeah, it's for where he flies. If you don't know John Woodfield, search on YouTube. He's a prolific builder and designer, and the slope, or the main slope that he flies off, it is such smooth air coming off the sea. It's a northwest facing slope, I think. But it was really nice flying off it, wasn't it? We only had our little gliders with us at the time, but you got to fly his gentle lady. And it was a really nice slope to fly from. So again, if you get the opportunity to go down that neck of the woods, give John a shout. Happily, more than happy to fly with anybody. And Perranporth's a nice part of the world as well.
Do we get bitten in the toe by a crab?
Sorry?
Do we get pinched in the toe by a crab?
Bitten by a crab?
Pinched in the toe by a crab.
Pinched in the toe by a crab? What on earth are you on about?
When we were on the beach, I got pinched in the toe by a crab.
We weren't on Perranporth Beach, were we?
When we went fishing there, remember?
Fishing?
Perranporth Beach, and I went in the sea and got pinched in the toe by a crab.
Fishing on Perranporth Beach?
Yeah. Because that's walked down like this really steep hill.
No, that wasn't Perranporth Beach, that was further up.
Oh, we fished on the beach. And we got pinched in the toe.
I don't remember getting pinched in the toe.
Pinched in the toe.
You saw that one. That's more important than you getting pinched in the toe.
I couldn't remember it last time.
Yes, you did. Where's the bonus? I'm about 16 miles from him, met him a couple of times. Yeah, really nice guy. Have you been to his workshop? Have you seen his workshop?
I wish I saw his workshop.
You were there, weren't you?
Yeah, you made me sit in the car.
Did I?
Yeah, you did.
Oh. He's got a really good workshop. I say he's a really prolific builder, and not just of aeroplanes, he does boats as well, I think.
There's also a video of him flying a Junior 60 off Perranporth
Off-
Beach.
I don't know if it's Perranporth Beach, but it's actually off a beach.
It's the one that you can see. We did go to Perranporth Beach.
Yeah, we did, but you weren't in the water fishing there.
No.
That's what I was getting at.
But I don't know what beach it was. I'm not sure. He has like the perfect slope for how he likes to fly.
Yeah.
And because of where the slope is, you can fly just about any wind direction up to a certain.
Yeah.
Because you can go like all the way round.
Right. So this push rod. I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see this, if at all. Making up a push rod. We've got to do some funky bending down here. So that fully retracted. That needs to be. So fully retracted, i.e. back, it needs to be there. Yeah?
It's not going to need much bending.
No, it's not going to need much bending, but it is going to need...
See if I push this forward a little bit, does it need any bending?
Yes, it does, because it's well off centre. Actually, it'll be pushing it across like that. So it needs to have a bend that way, and then when it comes straight again, it needs to bend up that way, and then straighten out again. Does it make any sense to you?
I'm going to give you a pair of pliers and
Yeah.
you get on with it.
You give me a pair of pliers.
Dad,
Sorry?
one or two pairs of pliers.
One, but not that pair.
Pick up.
Cheers for coming in, Cliff. Hopefully speak to you again soon. And I'll be thinking of you when I'm not up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So it's got to bend that way. Yeah. And then I need to have a look in the front to see where it needs to bend straight. It's still just guesswork, to be honest. Sure, just messed that up. And then it needs to go that way. And then it needs to, as you say, flatten back out again. Somewhere there.
That is some funky bending.
Yeah.
Is the exhaust in again?
No. Yeah, I might have just made a mess of that.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
Snaps.
yes, I will need the snips.
This is why they did.
No, no.
I can see it because.
Right, let's see how well this doesn't work. Thanks for that, Ewan. Right, Allen key, probably that one.
Is there going to be enough clearance there for that to get fully back here?
No, bro, come back here.
Come forward.
Yeah, so that. And that's fully back. That can be that there. Yeah, we can always cut this back.
Yeah. It needs to come back to the prop.
Yeah, but let's find it a right Allen key for doing this up. And then we should be able to feel if that's going to. You can't hold it there because it needs to come further back. What was that? Yes, that will work fine. So that bend is going to work.
Really odd looking bend.
It's going to work.
What prop does the attention take? 11.7?
No,
12.6.
it would turn a 12.6, but this is going to have a 12 by 12 and 3/4. No, sorry, 12 and 1/4 by 3 and 3/4. It's a fun fly problem.
Okay.
Right.
Just because the engine that was in your Cossack had some of its own.
Yeah, that would be fine on that.
It'll be fine. This is what.
Yes, but it's a better prop to have finer pitch to give you more. And if you don't know what that is, you have to wait and see. So what you need to do now is figure out this end.
We're going to video the on flying this.
We need to figure out how far the outer needs to be cut back. I'm looking over the top of this.
Do you want me to get them below the bench?
Nope. So that needs to be round that way. See if it's got a natural bend. I don't know why it's not naturally bending.
Because it's naturally stuck.
Right, it's because it's going over a thicker part. Right, anyway. That needs cut to about there. So we got Sharpie. Yep. Has that been left out? Yeah. The whole idea of those ones is
I've never used one of these Sharpies.
so that needs to come back to about there somewhere to give you enough clearance for that push rod to move and have a threaded rod in the end.
Yep.
Yeah.
I need a little bit further then.
You can always make it longer. No, you can always cut it back further. You can't make it longer. Yeah. There's neither about it.
I don't think it's running properly before. Because the needles doesn't have the
I don't even know
seals
where.
in it.
I don't even know. That's what it seals in it.
No, look. The seals for the needles aren't on the needle.
Yes, they are.
Are they?
Yes. Where? What's that there?
A washer.
Yeah.
That there. That's a seal. Is it not?
No, that's a washer as well.
No.
What's that there? Look.
Seal.
It's a seal. Right. So now what you need to do is you need to have that fully back. So you're now looking at the inner. Yeah. So you need to have that fully back to see where is going to be the closest you're going to want or need that. So I think it's going to be somewhere there. Yeah, to give you enough clearance for everything. You know what I mean? So you know what? Well, you're going to cut that inner back to that point. But to do that, you can't just pull it out, can you?
Just do it inside.
Okay. That's that one.
I'm hanging out close. Garage.
So now what one has got to do is ideally thread this into there about halfway, and then we've got to get a nice alignment from here to the servo. We've got to connect this bit to the servo.
Yeah.
But if it's sitting down here and the servo's up here, try and keep a straight line. You've got a bend maybe.
I think though this. No, I just need to like a bend down.
Yeah, but it just needs a little bit of a bend. We've got to put that in first. And we're going to use one of those on the servo end as well. Yeah? You should be able to do it by eye because you'll be able to see it in there.
Yeah, but I don't know if you can see it. That's what I was doing this. are just being used by for background noise.
Well, apparently somebody's got us as background noise.
Yeah, he's left.
Yes, you're right, he's got. So are we just background noise for you lot just now? Is anybody finding this valuable? It is, from my point of view, it's good to think that people are or have been watching us doing this sort of minor thing. Okay, so to get your length, what you need to do is figure out what halfway is.
What, half open?
Yeah, which is about there.
Centered.
And then it's going to be it's going to be 90 degrees there, yeah?
Yeah.
So you need to get a little bit of a bend.
Need to center so. And then
Yeah, you can do.
you also got the arm on it, so we know where to put it.
Yeah, so you need to get an arm and have one of those on it, and then just cut that to about there. See, something else you can do before you fit that all on. So if you take the outer off
Yeah.
and get some sandpaper to the outside of it and rough it up. Because then if we need to stick it to anything, it'll actually bond to it better. That's a top tip for anybody watching. These snakes, if you need to secure each end, they're quite shiny. Get some coarse sandpaper to them, rough them up. Makes them bond a lot easier.
Look after that bit.
Who?
Look after that bit.
Okay. Is there not a single servo arm already in there?
Already where?
In the tray?
What tree?
Well, wherever you're getting, where did this come from? Yeah, so in the servo box, or the servo head tray, is a single one already to save cutting this one.
That's already I've got.
So you might as well try that one first.
That might be a better piece together.
Yeah, it might be, but hopefully it won't be. So I'm assuming we're still live just now, and it's just the software here that's playing out. Let's see what happens. No, press the button to. That's center.
Center.
Yeah.
So that's red center, so we have to go one way and the other.
Yeah. So that's where you set the barrel halfway.
Yeah, that's halfway as well.
Yeah. So seemingly we are still live. It's just this computer isn't playing.
So, which one do you think the thingy should be on? The thingy being one of these.
On the outer one, just so that it can be in the best angle. So I'm guessing we are live still. If there's anybody listening and watching in the chat, just put something to say that we're still live. I think we are.
The viewers
But
are on.
the
I don't feel like bomb.
I think it's just this end on the computer is not playing. Sorry? You just drawn on your top?
Yep.
Well done.
Thank you.
Can't take him anywhere. Expensive jumper that was.
Do you want to know what makes these these come out? Hairspray. Comes off the
Hairspray takes Sharpie
Yeah.
off. Where the hell did you learn that from?
One of the Facebooks. You know how on Facebook you get like certain things take certain things out?
No, but okay.
It's hairspray. No. Daisy tried it with hairspray.
Okay. Did you not check it first?
Just done.
Oh, I thought you had all the laptop and everything. Why are these out? I don't know. For some reason the internet's gone really, really slow now. Not quite sure why.
It smells of soy sauce.
Smells of?
Soy sauce.
Well, I wouldn't put it on your blue and Chinese.
I thought it was my pizza earlier.
What?
That smelled like soy sauce. It was quite possibly that from on my hands or something.
Have you been using Loctite yesterday?
What did we do yesterday?
Don't know.
That's not. So then, got that sort of there.
Right, is this barrel still centered? I'm doing it by eye. Okay, so somewhere there. Give yourself like a fingers. Look, you can always shorten it afterwards. Yeah.
I just want to put that on there so if it does move, I know.
Mhm. So put a little bit of a bend in it, I guess. Before you do the bend, can I see how you're doing it? Just no, your hand was all in the way. I couldn't see it.
It's my hand is to be.
Okay, so what I'd suggest is put the pliers in from this side and actually put the bend back here.
That's what I was going to do. I was going to do it here just because it
Okay,
feels.
yeah. That's fine. That's probably all you need. Don't tighten it up yet.
I'm just tightening it down, tightening it up so centre it, make sure the barrel's in the right place.
Oh, that's what I was going to say, wasn't it? So, I've mentioned it in a few videos. And again, if you made it to this point in the video, thank you very much. Bearing with us. Not 100%. But don't do it up 100% yet, because that might not be the right size Allen key for it. One thing we're doing for this channel is we're doing a giveaway of a kit when we reach 1,000 subscribers. I'm sure a lot of people will be aware that when you get to 1,000 subscribers and so many watch hours, you can start making a few pennies from YouTube.
And that's literally all it is.
And it is literally a few pennies. I don't know how many pennies, but it's not very many. But when we get to 1,000 subscribers, there'll be a giveaway of one kit to a UK resident or a UK postal address, and it'll either be a blob glider, a blob power, a thing power or a thing glider kit, So if you want to be in with a chance of winning that, it'll be when we come to it, there'll be a video done of how to enter the competition. There'll be a comment on that video and whatnot, and then there'll be a random name or comment selected, whichever one it is. That'll be filmed, and then we send you a kit. But to get to 1,000 subscribers, what are we on just now?
This is what we found out about 1,000 subscribers.
962 we're on just now at the time of filming. So another 38 to go, and we'll do the giveaway.
That's not
If,
done. That's not done.
if you want to see that happen sooner rather than later, get out there, get your friends, tell them to come and watch us, subscribe to the channel. If you're watching this and you're not subscribed, just hit the button. It doesn't cost you anything. Tick the bell, hit the bell, or whatever you have to do it. Press the bell. That'll then give you a notification when we put a new video up. So yeah, that'll be a giveaway.
Is it just going to be the blobs or things, or are you going to do any others?
Just a blob. It'll be a choice of the four: the blob power, blob glider, thing power, thing glider. And it'll be
Not going to be anything.
no. The choice will be from those four, and that'll be normal UK mainland shipping included. If you're on a really obscure postcode within the UK, like the Outer Hebrides or something, we'll pay the first part of what would be normal, but then if you're still wanting the kit, we'd ask for the additional bit to get it to you. So yeah, I thought I'd just mention that. If you know of anybody that likes this sort of crap or can benefit from the crap that we put on YouTube, let them know. Right, sorted?
Right.
I didn't see a problem.
That's your problem.
Look at that. Close look. How can we get around that then?
Put the wing on, move the circle a couple of times, so it puts a dent in the wing.
Right, so you want to use the servo that's going to foul on the wing to put a dent in the wing,
so that it doesn't foul on anything.
that's called a workaround. That is. What I was going to suggest is you take that off and put it underneath.
Yeah, that's it.
Because where's the cester?
The zester.
That thing, tester. Connect it back up. I want to see it moving.
I mean, it would work.
What?
The wing on.
Yeah, but it's not the right way of doing it.
No, because
There's no cause. It's not the right way of doing it. Because what will happen then if you put the wing in a slightly different place next time?
it's going to need toning down in the transmitter.
Right, what I want to do is see how much, if it's going to clear the servo. Why do you do it over the top? Why don't you...
I can use your thumb brush. It's going to need toning down because it does travel too far.
Yeah, but that's fine. If you have that underneath, it's going to clear the servo. So you can do that. You've also got it screwed in there, so this is twisted wrongly. So that needs taken out, and then have that put underneath the servo one. That'll then clear it totally. Pardon me. So if there is anybody still following us just now, that wasn't here earlier, if you've got any questions or comments or whatever, stick it in the chat, which I think is on your left-hand side of, sorry, the right-hand side of your screen. We'll do our best to answer them.
And if you think we're being a bit daft, it's because we are.
Can you guys actually hear what he's saying? Because to me he's speaking really quietly.
I'm not speaking quietly. I'm just not speaking loudly.
You're muttering under your breath.
Not muttering under my breath. Loud enough that you heard.
Yeah, I did hear.
It's only muttering under your breath if everything in the room can't keep you.
You don't need that much. So I don't know if you'll be able to see that because there's a model in the way, but he just tipped a whole, near enough a whole bottle, what looks like of Loctite, onto one little M2 bolt. What trousers?
Trousers are brand new.
Why are you out here in brand new trousers?
Because they're the trousers I put on.
Does anybody else's kids do that? They get brand new clothes and then wear them for doing stuff where they're going to get manky, like in the garden or in the garage or playing rugby.
I've only got 5 pair of trousers that fit, and 4 of them are brand new.
Stop growing. This will be the hard part of actually getting it tight. That.
Oh, for God's sake.
Ah, so.
No, I know how to do this. Don't need your help at the moment.
Okay.
So that's right. That's right on there. Just pull it off without moving anything.
So have you got your full travel? Oh, steady on.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, but no, it's bending everything. It's not centered.
What isn't centered? What isn't centered?
Go the other way.
Right.
So
But is that?
go to center.
That's wide. There's something
Go
like
to
that,
go
so-
to go to center. Now see where it is.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe a little bit far. But
Which way is it going to go?
that way.
Sure.
Yes. Yes.
Well, that's went the opposite way to what you just said.
No, the male bit's got to. That bit's got to go that way.
Even that bit wasn't moving because it's fixed to a servo.
Yeah, but if you measured that from where it was before, and then I moved that way, then you measured it again, it'd be different. So it's gone that way.
Is it right?
That just needs.
Yeah. The end points. Don't worry about the end points. It's the center we've got to worry about.
Yeah.
Right. Can you get fully closed?
Which way is going to be fully closed? Yes. You can get Buildalong fully closed.
Okay. So is it fouling or is it just pulling? Just pull closed. Gently. Okay. Okay. Okay.
It's just that sort was just widens.
Something's moving. What's the matter?
Do you notice it?
It's possibly that battery going flat. Is center? Is everything centered?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yes. Once everything's centered.
Right. So what you need to do is make sure that's tightened up. That's tightened up. That's put back in.
That's tight because I think that one.
Okay.
So I just that one.
So we do now have a throttle linkage that is quite a funky shape, but it'll work.
I mean, the inside of the model's quite a funky shape.
Yeah, we don't really want to show you the inside of the model.
We didn't build it.
No, we didn't build it. But
Neither did Martin Thompson.
I don't know who built it, but whoever did build it, they liked epoxy.
They loved epoxy.
They liked using epoxy. Quite an expensive glue epoxy.
They liked putting it in the wrong place.
They I think mixed the epoxy inside the model.
They also like chewing up supports. Have you seen it?
We're doing tune-up supports.
You want to take a look?
Oh, yeah.
There's also was epoxy.
There's lots of epoxy in it, yeah. Right, unplug that so it doesn't flatten the battery. So we've got a throttle linkage. We need. Have you got another one of the bolts that long? Or do you know how long the bolts need to be? To what?
Both. Don't know how long that needs to be. Don't know how long that is.
Have you got another one?
Maybe.
Well, so we can measure it.
Do you have calipers on?
No, but a normal steel rule would work. My guess is it's 25 mil.
Where is this thing?
I don't know, but there's 3 in this workshop. I can see 1 from here. Where are you measuring from?
25 mil from
Under the head, yeah. That's where you measure cabinet bolts. So 25 mil. And they come to there. So we're going to need 30 mil bolts probably. But did you put you didn't put a wash underneath the head?
No, I didn't. Yeah. I can wait until I do the other ones.
Yeah, so we need 30 mil long. Is that what you reckon?
No, I might be able to get away with that. Maybe.
No, because that's not flush with the...
Yeah, it is. Beyond flush.
Right, it might be worth getting 30 mil bolts anyway.
That might work.
Well, slide one through, see what it looks like.
But that's not the same length as this one here. It's also slightly longer.
Let's see if there's another one there.
Maybe it's flat.
Washer?
Yeah, but washer there, washer there.
Okay. You got 2 bolts the same length.
Yeah. Might work.
Strange what happens when you try.
Try the other, just don't find these ones.
Another daft question before you start bolting them. Do you check the tightness of these?
Yeah.
All 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I can check tightness from where they are. Because you can tell.
Move your finger? Just, yeah.
Hold on to the lines. we've got to be background noise at this point.
Background noise to other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, the people that are watching aren't actually here to interact, they're just here to have something noise in the background.
Quite.
As long as we're beneficial to somebody.
Not just talking to ourselves.
Yeah.
I mean, one of them isn't even. That's one person's watching. That counts you.
What?
That counts you because you're watching it.
No, I'm not.
Oh no, because you're. No.
I'm looking at it in the background from the admin side. Right, before we tighten it right up, get the other one in.
I'm just seeing if is that far enough?
No.
Yeah.
So we need 30mm bolts. For anybody that has just joined us, thank you for joining us. I'm not going to repeat everything else we've said before, but we've been talking about going to shows. Where have you just dropped that?
No idea. That's why I netted things.
Yeah. We've been talking about going to shows, we've been talking about this limbo dancer, talking about the competition, free giveaway, whatever you want to call it, that we're doing. If you've got any questions, stick them in the comments, we'll do our best to answer them.
Someone's joined.
Yeah.
Might have joined earlier. Joined back.
Joined back?
Yeah.
Rejoined.
No, joined back.
Joined back, right.
It's joined back because they're already here, so they've.
How do you know it's the same person?
I said it might be.
It might be, but it might
That's
well
why.
not be.
That's why I said someone else has joined. I said they might have joined earlier and just joined back.
Yeah.
I did say that.
Anyway, thanks for joining us. If you if you have got anything you want to chat about, just shout, say so. We've spoken about electric viruses and batteries.
I don't think did it. I didn't hear enough the show.
But
Unless it's mum.
yeah, if mum shouts, we will hear. Yeah, so hopefully we're still alive. We seem to have.
This is left to go a little bit.
Yeah, I know, I can see. That's not the worst that's happened. The worst one was the one, the second or first one, where I put glue all the way around it.
What was on with it?
No, when I joined it up because it was all like dished. But still usable.
So what we do?
Not sure.
I'm gonna chat for the next half hour.
Yeah, we've got to get some bolts, 30mm bolts. What else do we need? I was going to look, if you wanted to dig down there for a prop, you're going to need it to balance it.
Do we have one
We should have two of them because I bought specifically
for this?
for a fun fly.
We should be. Like, recently or?
When we were at a show last.
For God's sake. It was like 4 years ago.
I say you don't have to get it just now, but you are going to need it to balance.
Was it one of like the Billy Shop?
Yes, it's an APC.
So I'm gonna hope there's engine backwards.
Well, there's that, yeah.
Is it the same prop that was on the Moronic?
I don't know. Because I don't know what prop was on the Moronic. Huh? It wasn't when we were flying.
Well, it was for about 2 seconds
Yeah.
before it happened. That's what happens when you hit something.
You
Instead
break
of-
something.
You break something before you hit the ground.
Yeah. Can you guys hear the conversation we're having like this? If somebody's watching us now, can you just tell us if, when he was over there, I'm chatting with him, can you hear what he's saying? Does this audio pick up all right? All we're using is a standard built-in microphone in the camera or in the phone.
What did you say it was in Mike?
No, a 12 and a quarter.
12.25 times 6.
12.2. It'd be new in a packet.
Yeah, but just like what
It'd be 12.25 by 3.75. And it will be in a packet, not loose.
I hate with these drawers on.
If you can't get to it, you can't get to it just now.
I can get to it, it's just annoying.
Pass it over here. I don't know if it'd be in there, but right. So this is, if you can see, one of our propeller drawers, and it's full. There we go. 8 by 6 is.
I looked at this, yeah, this one first. So it was 9.25 times 6. It's going to be 12.5.
Yes. And I'm sure they're new in packets. But we've also got other drawers of props. Where on earth did they come from? Oh, I know where they came from. Zinger wooden props. Great for little diesels. You found any in packets? Are they electric or are they?
They're all mixed and I don't know why.
Plenty of 12 sixes. Plenty of 12 sixes. Great. Got a 12.4, which would do. Where the hell are they?
I've just had everything out of all these boxes and there's nothing here. Could it be the same props that were up and running? Because we broke one and then put another one on it, then broke it when it crashed.
So we broke both of them, you think?
Quite possible.
I don't know. And we've got props that will work. We've got 12.4.
How expensive are the props?
I don't know, I haven't looked.
Because if we're ordering bolts anyway.
That'll be from a different place. So that'll,
What's about it?
yeah, that's 12.4. So it's a little bit longer and a little bit finer pitch.
That would work until we got.
That would work, yeah.
I don't even.
And there's another one of those, but the problem is the hole in the middle's so big. That's a 12.5 by 4. That's a 12.5 6.
This type of prop is the only type of prop I can remember cutting myself on.
That's a 12.4. I think that'll be a rattle fit on that.
Don't even have that electrical too.
Right, so we'll go with that one just now. But let's see about getting some other props. Right, I'm going to stick that back over there. Pardon me. See, the other thing I was going to look for as well is whether or not it'd be worth having a spinner nut as opposed to a spinner.
I would prefer a spinner so it can be back bumped.
Yeah. We should be able to find a spinner in there we can use. Right, relatively small one.
I could probably find one with 5 seconds.
Yeah, we don't need 5 inches there. We just need it for balancing. That's all.
Yeah.
But that should go on there.
The other way.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just looking at the size of the hole. That hole's bigger than that. So it will just go on. So, what do we need to finish this now?
Battery, tank, bolts, fuel.
We're not going to. What's it now? Friday night. We're not going to get bolts till next week. I don't know of anywhere local that does cat bed bolts.
Motor shop, mate. Motor shop in here.
Well, it's not a model shop as we know it.
Pretty sure it is. Because it does, like, it's similar to the one in Glasgow where we got the paint for, but it sells at Acro what for kids. I looked on the website and said they had to stock. So we need to have a look.
Yeah.
We'll do it tomorrow when we're back.
We'll see. We're
That's
busy
where-
tomorrow.
So,
The drill bit you dropped. Take that one out there before you stab yourself on the drill. Yeah. So I take it you're buying all the stuff for this. Well, battery, tank, bolts. We might want to have a civil tank over there. I don't know. I haven't looked. And then really it's just a general good looking over it to make sure everything's right. It's nice to know.
What's the light?
What?
There's a light on this.
Yeah.
Where? There. Because I did that. I did that and it lit up.
Yeah.
I didn't know this one had the light
it
on.
lights up where you're drilling.
Yeah, but on the screw gun I knew it had one, but the light's there and I didn't know this one had a light.
Yeah. See, the reason why they put it down here now, less likely to get obscured. Here, if the light's here, people hold it like that, put their finger over the light. and whatnot. But down here, less likely to get anything in the way.
Yeah, just didn't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Makes sense. Just
Yeah, it does make sense. I think we're coming to the end of this, aren't we, for tonight? So we're just about done as far as we can just now, I think, with this aeroplane. If you'd like us to do more of these, please say, whether it be in the live chat, which will be ending shortly, or in the comments below this video, or any other video for that matter. If there's anything in particular you want to see us do, we've mentioned a few things that we're planning on doing.
is there anything you'd like to see fly?
If there's anything you'd like to see fly, say so. One of the problems we do have is the filming equipment that we've got is not great for doing flying videos. So if that's the sort of thing you want to see, let us know and we'll see what we can do. We've mentioned a few of the things that we want to build and film for you. These have all been lined up for a while. It's just a case of getting around and doing them. I've got 2 videos that are very close to being finished, which will be the next couple of weeks. And then there's another 1, 2, 3 that I can think of straight away, which I'll be doing, plus subsequent videos that follow on from that. But mostly, I was trying to say thanks for joining us tonight. Haven't done a live for a while. Hopefully it's been beneficial to you. Even if we have just been background noise for you, when you've been having your dinner or building in the garage or workshop or whatever.
See if you are building in the back, using us as background noise and building in the background. What are you building?
Yeah.
I want to.
You're curious now. Let us know what you're building. I'd like to create like a community around NGR modelling and such. We'll tell you what we're building, you tell us what you're building. If you want something to build, let us know, we've got plenty of kits for you. Check out the website, www.ngrmodelling.co.uk. All the kits are available to buy through there. If it says it's in stock, it is literally on the shelf here. I'm like a conductor with this just now, aren't I? Just waiting it around.
Why do people say www instead of World Wide Web?
because that's what you put in when you type in to get to our website. You put in www.
But it's more syllables to say, so it takes longer to say than World Wide Web.
Yes, sir. This is what we have to put up with. Anyway, on the subject of kits, just before we leave tonight, if it's not in stock but shown as listed on the website, as in if it's something on the website and it's out of stock, it is already in process to restock it. I've changed slightly what I'm doing with things to keep things in stock. Again, you can't actually see in shot there just now, but over my shoulder there's another pile of kits.
I've only just realised it now.
Yeah. So that's the excess ones of those.
I didn't even know they were there.
Yeah, so we've got a lot of kits in stock just now, and I want to get a lot more. We've got 1, 2, 3. Watch your back. Stand up and move that. Move the whole thing. The bin. Yeah. So we've got 1, 2, 3, possibly 4 prototypes to build, not including the Ocean Breeze, which we need to finish. We've got another 1, 2 designs, 3 designs straight away that I can think of that we need to develop and prototype. We've got some other ideas as well for models. I've just thought what we could do. You know, I was talking about that sport model for a 62.
62.
Genoa.
What's sport model for a 62?
There's a blend of those.
What's those?
The ones that are hanging up that aren't finished yet.
When were you talking about doing a blend of them?
The other day, when we were talking about a sport model in general,
You didn't say anything about them. You said
I was talking about a low wing thing.
that's all you said. You didn't say anything about blend between those two.
Yeah. So we could do a design where it could be for a 62 or for a 20.
For a 30. Just to keep. No, because they don't. They different.
So if you do one for a 20cc and one for a 62, same design but just scaled, that'd work, wouldn't it? Yeah, so we're having ideas all around here just now. Anyway, I need to stop playing with that. We're going to call it a night just now. We've got some family commitments to do tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to get some more done on something.
Hopefully.
Even if it's just getting the last bits done on the Puma,
Hopefully that's fine.
because that would be good to get out flying if we do go this weekend. Yes, we want to film. I'm actually just watching myself playing with that blooming stick there. We want to get on and do Ewan's farmyard.
Yep.
Farmyard.
Maybe your farmhand after.
We'll see. Another model which I do want to do, it's right above my head just now, is the Scottish Aviation Bulldog. Engine's already in it, just needs servos really.
Need servos
And the servos are sitting on the bench over there, or some servos are sitting on the bench over there.
servos your plan.
Yeah, but there's also some there which we can use as
I
well.
thought they were all 3,000.
They're suitable for that.
But you need to do canopy.
Yeah, but there's lots of things we need to do to it.
Not really.
But yeah, that's all stuff that's in the pipeline. As and when we get time to do it, which seems to be a bit short at the moment. So yes, we're going to love you and leave you, and we'll see you next time.